next week sometime. We've got about 4 or 5 other ones that we got late. And so they're in the process of getting some reports on those. And hopefully we'll have those ready first of the week and we can knock those out too. But thank everybody for being here bright and early this morning. First person we're going to do today is going to be Senate nomination number 5, Tammy Renee Phillips from Brandon, Mississippi, State Board of Banking Review. It's a reappointment by Governor Tate Reeves for a 5-year term beginning May 23rd, 2022 and ending February 22nd, 2027. Ms. Phillips, thank you for being here today. Yeah, glad to have you here. If you will you tell this committee a little bit about yourself, and since this is a reappointment, maybe a little bit about the board and what you do on the board.
I am from Wharton, and right now, where I served as of next month 28 years, and 4 years prior to that, so a total of 32 years of banking experience. As far as the banking board, I have been on and I really enjoyed it. I was telling Rashonda earlier, there hasn't been a whole lot of action with it, honestly, but it really has been very rewarding and something that I've loved to learn more about. I'm certainly glad to serve our state and banking industry in general.
All right, good deal. Thank you very much. Any questions for Ms. Phillips? Any questions? All right. I think you have somebody here that's going to speak on your behalf. But before she does, just letting you know a couple things right here that showed up on the report. And I was talking to some folks earlier. This first time I've seen this, an oath on record with the Secretary of State's office. It says no oath on record with the Secretary of State's office. First time I've seen that too. This Martha's been here 20 years. Said first time she's seen that too. So not sure what that is, but maybe we'll check on that. And then also we see this one a lot. It's just not a statement of economic interest that's been filed lately. So you need to do that as well. So just a little FYI for you right there. Okay. And one more thing that I noticed that I had circled down here is bless your heart, you work with Chance Carter. So you good friend of mine. Yeah, good friend of mine. I actually coached Chance back in the day, a long time ago, but you know that. So yeah, great guy. And I believe we have somebody here maybe wants to speak on your behalf, Miss Kelly. And was it you that was going to speak on her behalf? Well, we'll let you go ahead and do that then. Okay. You can just stand right there. That's fine.
He's been a great asset.
Thank you for those words right there. And thank you for all you do as well too. You and your team, y'all do a great job. So we appreciate it. Yes, sir. Senator Thomas. Yeah.
Okay. When will you file your oath and your statement of interest? When do you plan to do that?
I'll certainly do that today. I know there was, I believe, that statement of interest. So it just may not have
Got
made it.
filed yet. Yeah.
I'll get the information and get that in today.
Okay, thank you, ma'am.
All right. Any other questions? Is there a motion? Advising consent. All right. Senator Johnson advising consent. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? And congratulations. Thank you. Thank you for being here too. Yeah. All right. Mr. Blaylock will be our next one. Philip Blaylock. You sit down right there. This is Senate nomination number 6, Philip Roger Blaylock, State Board of Banking Review, also representing the 1st Supreme Court District, appointed by Governor Tate Reeves for the unexpired balance of 5-year term beginning June 29th, 2022, ending March 23rd, 2027. Mr. Blaylock, thank you for being here. Appreciate you being here bright and early this morning. And if you will you tell this committee a little bit about yourself?
Yeah, good morning. Thanks for having me. Philip Blaylock, reside in Madison, Mississippi. I've been a lifelong resident Mississippi for 53 years. Mississippi College guy, 19 years with Regions Bank. I served as Senior Vice President, Commercial Banking, working in Richland office. That's me.
Okay, all right, good deal, good deal. Any questions for Mr. Blaylock? Same thing, Mr. Blaylock. Also, just looking here, it says no oath on record with Secretary of State's office. Again, just may want to check on that. I'm not completely sure what that is. And then also the statement of economic interest as well. Again, we've seen a lot of that lately, and I think a lot of folks have said that they've already done it. They just maybe hadn't got filed yet or whatever. So you'll check on that, okay? Questions? I think Senator Thomas maybe had a question.
I was gonna ask the same question.
Okay,
But I do have a motion appropriate.
at the appropriate time. Okay, any other questions? Again, the report looks clean, good report. There's no questions, Senator Thomas, we'll take your. Okay, there's your motion. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Congratulations. Thank you, sir. Appreciate it. All right, Mr. Allred. All right, our next one will be Senate nomination number 14, Timothy Clifton Allred, State Board of Contractors representing the residential builder appointed by Governor Reeves for a 5-year term beginning July 1st, 2022, ending June 30th, 2027. All right, Mr. Allred, thank you for being here. And if you will you tell the committee a little bit about yourself?
Hey, I'm Tim Allred and I reside in Meridian, Mississippi. I moved there about 20 years ago when I married my wife, who grew up in Meridian. Her father was a general contractor and I went to work for him after working for AT&T in engineering, graduated from Mississippi State in engineering. I've been working there for 38 years in the construction business, initially with him, later with a partner. He bought me out and it's creating a residential building. So I construction in Mississippi for the last 38 years. 39th wedding anniversary next week.
Congratulations.
And yeah, and have children, they're all grown, they have children. So my grandfather, that is them. Also, I'm involved in real estate. I've had my real estate license for 15 years. I've been a licensed contractor for about 25 years.
All right, anybody got any questions for Mr. Allred? Mr. Allred also, okay, Senator McMahon, go ahead.
Mr. Allred.
Yes.
So, as you know, we've modernized our contractors and the way we tax and the way we track those taxes. Some of the unforeseen consequences of that are there are men and women in the state of Mississippi that have made a living for years doing something they weren't necessarily they didn't have the proper credentials, but they have the experience. And when these contractors come before you, I hope that you'll help them in every way, get the certifications and the information they need, because one thing we're trying to do in this state, we want everybody to have a job, whether they want a job or not. If people have a career, 20, 25, 30 years in a certain industry, and then all of a sudden, they've got to be properly licensed. Just help them. Be sensitive to that, if you would.
Absolutely. Our foundation of workforce in this state is long-standing and experience. And once a person has an experience, and we will help them any way we can to be licensed, whether it's helping them figure out a test and how to get their insurance requirements, things like that. We're definitely, pro workforce.
Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Well, one particular case, a constituent that I represent, the man's been in the concrete business for 30 years. He's an expert, but he can't read,
Exactly.
but he's still an expert in concrete. And so help him, be sure that the board, you guys allow for, if a special needs adult wants to, a contractor, you help them find a way to work the test for them, that they can comprehend it and understand it and look at that experience, please.
Absolutely.
Need your help.
Absolutely.
Thank you, Senator McMahon. Any other questions?
Chairman.
Yep.
Has not, filed, right?
It's the statement. That's right.
And I need to know, we need to know when you plan to, or your statement of economic interest. Indicate you had not filed yet.
I did file it. Pretty sure I filed it. But that wasn't my first.
This report's from January 30th, Mr. Chairman.
I have done it.
Okay.
Have you?
Yes,
Okay.
yes, sir. I did it shortly after that.
Yeah. Yeah, most of these we got early on in the session, so we kind of had the reports and just been waiting to have the meeting. So they probably got filed after we had everything. So,
Right,
good
yes,
deal.
sir.
All right, good deal.
As soon
we-
as they told me that I had filed it, I got it filed with them.
Awesome, awesome. And we see this on
Yeah.
a lot of them. I mean, it just kind of shows up that way. And a lot of them have been filed and just hadn't showed up yet too. So
That's right.
yeah, there you go. All right, any other questions?
This will be a-
This one here is not a reappointment. This is a new.
Now, I've been on the standing committee for the state board of contractors for several years. but
Right.
This is not a real.
That's right.
This is the first.
That's right. Any other questions? Is there a motion? A motion is advising consent. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Ayes have it. Congratulations. Thank you, sir. Thank you for being here. All right. We'll move on to Mr. Norris Carson Jr. Morning, Mr. Carson. Thank you for being here this morning. Next one will be Senate nomination number 15, Norris Lee Carson Jr., State Board of Contractors, representing the road contractor, reappointment by Governor Reeves for a 5-year term ending June 30th, 2026. This one is a reappointment. So, Mr. Carson, if you'll tell us a little bit about yourself and also a little bit about this board, what you've done on the board and what you see taking place maybe a little bit. Yep.
Once again, my name is Lee Carson. County. President of Indiana Carson Construction Company. Highways, bridges of the Mississippi. MDOT, state aid, municipality. Private sector. Also. Manufacturing, central staffing, manufacturing. Also, coalitions, all kind of goes together like this. But I'm honored to have this reappointment. I don't read. The year that I'm earned, walking. What we do, we try. When contractors are looking for work to do, they're looking for work to be done on their properties, buildings. We try to make sure they're qualified contractor. I'll receive the best work. Make it be
Well, thank you, sir. Any questions for Mr. Carson? Okay, all right. Okay. Well, you
Mr. Carson.
you could do the motion, speak on that.
To
Yeah.
vote, kind of vote.
Okay, all right.
Yeah.
Let me just bring this up real quick and then I'll get to you there. Okay, thank you. You did file your statement of economic interest, so I want to tell you, thank you for doing that. That's taken care of. And then, only negative that I see in your report, and I definitely want to make sure I bring this up, is, your reference there, Mike Pepper. Surely you could have got a better reference than Mike Pepper. And I am just picking on that. Mike and I go way back. We went to high school together and we live together now in Mendenhall. Great friend of mine. So, yeah, he's a great guy. And the other thing I had marked down here, I saw where you served in the armed forces. Just wanted to thank you for your service. Absolutely appreciate you. Okay. Any other questions? Okay.
Mr. Carson, are you kin to Randy?
That's my brother.
Okay. I knew your father. He was a mountain of a man, a true Southern gentleman. I know he charted the waters in a lot of ways for African Americans in that industry. He was a wonderful person. I know your brother as well. I know I've already said this for the committee, but I'll be brief. Mr. Carson, you know, we've modernized the taxing laws for contractors and we've modernized the way that a lot of contractors need to have their license and be properly credentialed. But I've got some constituents that I've helped personally that, you know, may have 20, 25, 30 years in the industry doing something, but they don't have a license. Some of them can't even read, but they're professionals and they have a lot of experience. And I know you'll be sensitive to that on the board and help those folks. Some of them are special needs and they're nonverbal, so they have problems taking tests. But, you know, there's one particular man, he's got over 30 years in the concrete business, but he can't read, but he does excellent work. And I'm just asking you to please, through the board, help these individuals get in sync with the way we've modernized our licensure laws and taxation laws, and help them if you can. Thank you for being here, for taking time out of your schedule. And I do like your pork rinds also.
I can say amen to that.
Good deal.
You should have brought us some samples.
All right, I'm going to recognize Senator Branning. I think she wants to speak on your behalf, and then she has a motion afterwards.
Mr. Carson, I thank you for your service to the state. I know this is a reappointment, so you've served on this board for some time prior to today. And to the committee, I'm very proud that Mr. Carson's my constituent. You can tell that after listening to him for just a moment and reading the information here, he has forgotten more about this industry than a lot of people know. So, Mr. Chairman, at the appropriate time, my motion is going to be that we do advise and consent.
Okay, it is the appropriate time, so we hear the motion to advise and consent. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Thank you, sir. Congratulations. Thank you for coming. Appreciate it. All right, Miss Sandra Chancellor. Morning. You got a seat right there. All right, our next nomination is going to be Senate nomination number 22. This is Sandra Chancellor, State Board of Funeral Service, representing the funeral director license from the First Supreme Court District, appointed by Governor Reeves. 4-year term beginning July 6, 2022 and ending June 20th, 2026. Ms. Chancellor, thank you for being here. And if you will, tell this committee a little bit about yourself.
Thank you for having me. My name is Sandra Chancellor. I live in Madison. I have been a licensed funeral director since I met my husband a little less than 40 years ago. I born and raised in Jackson, and I guess it was in 2002, my husband and I and our partner Charles Renfro opened our business on Highway 49 South in Florence, Chancellor Funeral Home. And in 2004, we opened our second location on Sidewell Road in Byram. That's where, as funeral director, I began doing everything in the funeral home you could possibly do. with the exception of embalming. I'm not embalming. Been a member of the Mississippi Funeral Directors Association since my husband and I started, and have held several board member positions in that organization. Been president twice, been on the legislative committee, and walked these halls many times with Clifford Thompson doing legislative work for the association. I feel like that being a part of this board will help with the professionalism in our organizations and in our profession as a whole.
Good deal. Any questions for Ms. Chancellor? Chancellor, I'm gonna just bring up too, and again, we see this a lot on these things. It says no record of statement of economic interest been filed yet. So that's with the Mississippi Ethics Commission. You'll just check on that. maybe.
I was told that I need to do that, but I will double check that.
Okay.
Because of the way the company was set up, but I will verify that.
Thank you. All right, good deal, good deal. All right, any questions? Senator Thomas,
Chairman, I need to ask the same question.
go ahead.
You know, when will you do that?
I'll take care
When
of
will you
that
file?
today.
All right, good deal. You got it. Any other questions? All right, is there a motion? Senator Thomas?
Motion to advise and consent.
All right, y'all heard the motion advising consent. All in favor, say aye. Any opposed? Ayes have it, and congratulations. Thank you for being here. Yeah, thanks for coming. And we got a couple more. Yes, sir, right there. It's Ryman. Is that how we pronounce that? Ryman? Reman. All right, Mr. Reman, we thank you for being here, coming up from Gulfport this morning. This is Senate nomination number 23, David Chad Reman, State Board of Funeral Services, representing the funeral director licensing from the Second Supreme Court District, appointed by Governor Reeves for a 4-year term beginning July 1st, 2022, ending June 30th, 2026. All right, Mr. Reman, again, thank you for being here. If you will, go ahead and tell this committee a little bit about yourself, a little bit about what you do, okay?
Yeah, thank you. Thank you for allowing me to be here. It's an honor. It's an honor to be considered for the position of State Board of Funeral Service. I'm a 4th generation funeral director. Our business just celebrated 103 years on the Mississippi Gulf Coast. We're blessed to serve more families in the state of Mississippi than any other funeral. My president of the Mississippi Funeral Directors Association around Hurricane Katrina time was an interesting time for us and for many in funeral service on the coast. And Mississippi Funeral Director of the Year that year. I'm married. I have 3 children, and we live in Gulfport. Enjoy the last few months being involved in the board. Great way to give back to the profession that's done so much for myself and our team and our family. And
Yeah, all right, couple things here. First thing, looked like there were some old tax liens out there. Looked like they've been taken care of. Can you tell the committee a little bit about that? Maybe what that was about?
I was noticed about that.
Yeah.
And I called my accountant and it was several years ago. And I don't, he didn't. Like $35,000. Sure. Satisfied. And I told him, I said, how can we have a tax lien? All the tax paid
Yeah,
every year.
Right.
So, honestly, I don't know what that is.
okay. And the other thing is, and we mentioned this to most everybody that's come in here, The statement of economic interest needs to be filed with the Secretary of State. I don't know if you've done that yet. You may have already done it. It just hadn't been filed yet.
Sure.
Okay, and I'll go ahead and ask this question. When can we expect you to get that? Can you get that?
I'll work on it today.
Perfect. Perfect, perfect. All right, great. Thank you, sir. Any other questions for Mr. Reedman? Any questions? All right, no questions. Is there a motion? You do. All right, there is your motion advising consent. All in favor, say aye. Any opposed? Ayes have it. Congratulations. Thank you for coming up from Gulfport this morning. Thank you. All right, we got one more. Lee Sims.
I'm just talking about the tax.
Sims, thank you so much for coming up today.
Thank you for having me.
This is Senate nomination number 67, Orly O.L. Sims the second, State Board of Contractors representing the water and sewer contractor. It's a reappointment by Governor Reeves for a 5-year term beginning July 1st, 2022, ending June 30th, 2027. Mr. Sims, if you will, tell us a little bit about yourself, a little bit about this committee.
71 years old. Been retired. Still, after I did that, I started working harder than I did. In business 75 years. Harrisburg. Lived as we live in Harrisburg. Got several businesses.
All right, any questions for Mr. Sims? Senator McMahon?
Yeah, thanks. Mr. Sims, just to be brief, you know, we've modernized the taxing laws in this state and in our licensing laws. And there are men and women who have worked for many, many years in different industries that did not have license, but today they're required to have a license. And as your board hears those cases, just keep in mind, you know, help these people get their proper license so that they can continue to work. I know you're aware of that, but I already gave this example earlier in front of the director, but you know, I've got a man that's got 30 years experience in the concrete business, but he can't read. But we still want him to be properly licensed. Just find ways to help people so they can work.
I've got a good friend. Probably one of the best builders, commercial builders. Built. All over Hattiesburg, us and other people. When he does it, he has to be on your payroll with work. Because he can't get it. And I've offered to help him. He has whatever. He just and there are a lot of good trade.
I do want to take the opportunity to brag on the director, Ms. Lee. Each and every time I've ever called her with a special case or a special request, she's responded promptly. I'm talking about normally within an hour. If it wasn't within an hour, it's because she was off duty or out of the area. But I appreciate the work, and I hope you can appreciate what we've done as a legislative body trying to modernize to be sure that, you know, out-of-state contractors that were coming here taking advantage of some loopholes in our laws, You know, we're trying to make it an even playing field and give everybody credentials and licensing and to protect the public.
I've been on for 18 years. And I've seen a lot of change. And really.
Thank you.
The whole staff.
Thank you.
One thing right there too, Mr. Sims, your statement of economic interest, need to get that filed with the Ethics Commission.
I did just.
Did you? Okay, perfect. We're good then. Yep, yep. All right. Any other questions for Mr. Sims? There's a motion to advise and consent. All in favor, say aye. Any opposed? Ayes have it. Congratulations. Is there a report, motion to rise and report? Thank y'all for being here. Guess that goes to her. Thank you, ma'am.